Everyone, I am going to explain about the novel Wuthering Heights written by Emily Bronte. Its introduction is it is published in 1847. Emily Bronte is one of the major works in English literature. So about the author, Emily Bronte is an English novelist and poet. She is best known for her novel Wuthering Heights in 1847. She also wrote 200 poems with her sister Caroline Bronte. So we can see the characters now. Mr. Earnshaw, Mrs. Earnshaw, Mr. Linton, Mrs. Linton, Hindley Earnshaw, Catherine Earnshaw, Edgar Linton, Isabella Linton, Heathcliff, Hareton Earnshaw, Kathy Linton, Linton Heathcliff. So the theme is fully love, passion and vigilance. This is fully between the relationship of Heathcliff and Catherine. It's fully based on the revenge story. So we can see the summary. Mr. Lockwood is living in Thrushcross Grange estate. So he is asking about the Wuthering Heights estate's true story to Mrs. Dean, who is already a servant of Wuthering Heights. The novel is fully based on the relationship between Catherine and Heathcliff. Heathcliff is the adopted son of Mr. and Mrs. Earnshaw. Already Mr. and Mrs. Earnshaw had two children named Catherine and Hindley. Hindley doesn't like Heathcliff, but Catherine loves him too. Mr. Earnshaw sent Hindley to abroad for higher studies. Heathcliff and Catherine loves a lot. They went to Thrushcross Grange. There Catherine was bitten by a dog and Mr. and Mrs. Linton took care of her. After some days, Catherine was attracted by Edgar Linton, who is the son of Linton, and married him. So this makes Heathcliff more worry and makes him to take revenge. Hindley returns to Wuthering Heights with his son Hareton Linton. The same way, Catherine dies and gave birth to a child, namely Kathy Linton. So Hindley was tortured Heathcliff as a servant, so that Heathcliff escaped from the Wuthering Heights for 3 years. After 3 years, knowing that Kathy Linton is Catherine's daughter, so as a plan, Heathcliff marries Isabella Linton, so who is a daughter of Linton, to take revenge. He tortured Isabella and she escapes to London and gave birth to Linton Heathcliff, and she dies. Finally, Heathcliff planned to arrange a marriage between Kathy Linton and Linton Heathcliff, and finally he had made it. So after some times, Linton dies after some days of their wedding because of his weakness. But Kathy takes more care of Linton. But after shortly he dies. Kathy and Hareton, who is a son of Hindley, attracted by each other and married too. So knowing this, Heathcliff was very sad. After that, with Catherine's lovable memory, Heathcliff died shortly. So finally, Kathy and Hareton came to Wuthering Heights and lived their life happily. This and all the things Mrs. Dean is telling to Lockwood as a true story of Wuthering Heights. So I have attached the full summary of novel in my PPT. So finally, thank you.